Hello everybody, this is Jill Wigmore-Welsh and I'm based here in Reading in Berkshire, and this is just another short episode in the Body Sensing and Movement Awareness series. So this little process is only going to be quite short, and it is around one of the Feldenkrais principles, and the principle really is to do with curiosity and creativity. So one of the interesting things that I find in the work that I do is the way that people can have very strong and fixed ideas about how they should and shouldn't move, what they should and shouldn't do. And as somebody who's just left now said, I feel as if I'm getting rather set in my ways. I thought that was interesting. So if you're sitting on the chair, that's right, just find yourself a nice chair to sit on. It can be any sort of chair, it doesn't really matter, because you can do this in any chair that you happen to be on. You do need to be able to stand up from the chair. So if you are by the side of the car or something like that, you might need to turn around so that you've got your feet on the ground. And the first thing I want you to do is just sit naturally. Don't give it any thought, just sit as you would normally do in the chair. Allow yourself to relax and sit naturally. And then from that place, I want you to come to a point where, in your imagination, you're not going to do this in real time, you're just going to do it in your imagination. Your imagination, you're going to imagine yourself getting to a point where you would then be on the chair, ready to stand up. So, as you're sitting in this nice, comfortable, relaxed position, just think what you'd need to do in order to be able to get up. And then when you've thought that through, just actually move yourself to the point where you would just be before you went to get up. So you just get yourself ready and notice what you do when you do that. And notice how far you perhaps needed to move yourself forward in the chair. Notice if you did move yourself forward, how you moved yourself forward. So did you sort of swing yourself forward? Did you sort of bum shuffle from side to side? So just notice what you did, and notice how much effort you needed to put into that just to get yourself to that point. And just notice how you're sitting now, and check out whether the position that you're in right now is actually where you would want to be. If you were going to go to stand up, is this where you'd want to be? And if you think that it is, then you can do whatever it is that you'd need to do just to actually bring yourself up safely into standing. So if you need to hold onto the chair when you do it, put a hand on the arm of the chair or both hands or whatever, then just do that. And then once you're up and standing, just come back down to sit in the chair. And again, notice what you do when you do that. And then move yourself back to be comfortable, relaxed, sitting how you were before. And just repeat this process just a couple of times, as many as you feel comfortable. And for some people, even the action of standing up, I know, can be quite demanding, quite tiring. So remember that you can do it in your imagination if you want to. You can even do it in your imagination, say 2 or 3 times, and then actually just do it again. So you come back up in standing in real time, sit down in real time. Okay, and then sit back in the chair. So now we're going to just sort of play a little bit with that. And so as you're sitting in this sort of position that you're comfortable, I just want you to sort of pivot and lean forward from your hips, from your pelvis, just as if you were just bending down looking towards the floor. So you're just bending in half. And then come back to sit in the chair, relaxing, and notice what that feels like. What does it feel like to actually just bring yourself from your comfortable position just to sort of bring and roll and move your shoulders and your head forward and back, and notice what this feels like for you. Do you look down as you do it? Do you look straight ahead? You feel a lot of muscles working when you do it? Can you do it just by using your muscles, or do you find that you tend to pull on the arms of the chair or pull on the seat cushions underneath you or the edge of the chair underneath you? Again, this is just about being interested in the quality of what it is that you'd normally do, so that you can actually allow yourself to have a flavour of your habit. And then just have a rest in the chair. And you can take as long as you like. If you want to turn this off and have a rest for 10, 20, 30 seconds, you can done, but I'll carry on. You can stop the recording if you want to. And then what I'd like you to do is just to think about bringing your hands forward, so your hands are resting on your knees, and just begin to start to slide your hands down your knees towards the floor as you actually come forward. So you're resting in the chair, hands are on your knees, slide them forward, all the way along, over the fronts of your knees, down towards the fronts of your shins, and then back up. So this time what's happening is that as you bend forward, you're actually doing that sliding. And really feel with your hands, feel the sensation of your knees, feel your legs, your thighs, your shins, and really allow your attention to be in your fingertips as you come forward. Really feeling all the little lumps and bumps you might have. That's it. And forwards and backwards, that's it. And then after you've done that a few times, I just want you to reverse the movement of your hands. So as you come forward, you're sliding your hands back towards you. And as you're resting back, you slide your hands forward. So it's almost like a sort of a rowing action, really. As you come forward, your hands are pulling towards you and then sliding back. So they're just sliding forwards back on the chair. And notice your breathing. If you find you tend to hold your breath a bit more. And notice what that does, how that affects or impacts you. And then go back to sliding your hands forward as you lean forward and sliding back as you lean back. And then have a rest when you want to. Just take a rest, allow your hands to relax, allow your shoulders to relax, and notice how your palms feel now when you've been inputting all this information to your brain about what's going on. You might find your palms are feeling a little bit more tingly as that part of your brain is connected through. And then come back to this configuration of just leaning forward and leaning backwards. And this time when you're going to do your leaning forwards and backwards, you're going to do one hand sliding forwards and one hand sliding backwards. So same thing, your body's going forwards and backwards, but one hand's going forwards as you go forward, one hand's going back. And then you change over and just notice which hand it was that you chose to go forward when you went forward, and which hand you chose to go back when you went back and swap over. That might be a bit of a challenge. I don't know, it might be easy. And play with that. Do one and then the other. And then relax back with your back resting against the chair. And this time just slide your hands. So your hands are just sliding forwards and backwards. Sliding along. And then slide one hand forwards, one hand backwards. And then swap over. And as you slide your right hand forward, you can just look a little over your right shoulder. And as you slide your left hand forward, you can look a little over your left shoulder. So you're just getting a little bit of movement coming in. Just move as easily as you feel you want to, and think about whether the hands are leading the movement, or is the shoulder leading the movement, or is it the elbow leading the movement? And if you don't know, then just choose which you want it to be. So think about the elbow pushing the hands forwards maybe and pulling the hands back, and think about the shoulder pushing the hands forward and back. Just notice what that's like, and then go back to both hands together, and then just have a rest. Notice how that feels. Notice how your hands feel. Can you feel an increased sense of your hands, so that something's gone on in your system which allows you now to be far more aware of your hands? I can certainly feel my fingers and hands quite a lot if I do that process myself. And then just come forward again and bring yourself back to the edge of the chair as you did before when you went to go to stand up. And then repeat the same process of just leaning forwards and backwards with your hands sliding along on your knees, so that as you lean forwards, your hands slide forwards and then back, making sure that you keep yourself safe, not falling on the floor. And then alternating, one hand forward and one hand back. Bring the head in, so that as you slide your right shoulder forwards, you'll go over the right shoulder. And then when you slide the other one forward, you'll go over the other side. And just feel what it feels like now to be integrating your body in a slightly different way. And maybe as you slide your right hand forward and backwards, you might look to your left. So you might look to your left when you slide your right hand forwards and backwards, and do that several times. And then maybe when you slide your left hand forward, you might look to the right. Do that a few times and just notice what that feels like. Allow yourself to contact your spine, and then ask your spine if it would like to perhaps get involved in the movement just in your rib cage area. Take a few breaths in and out, and notice if you can allow that part of yourself to soften a little bit more. And when you want to, you can have a rest. And just sit back and relax. Allow yourself just to think about the out breath. That's right. Out goes the breath. Out, out, out. As you breathe out, that's right. You feel yourself really relaxing, your tummy relaxing. You feel your muscles relaxing through your whole self. As you just allow yourself to savor this nice feeling of resting against the support. And then when you're ready, you can just come forward again, come back to sitting on the edge of the chair. And just take your time and bring yourself up into standing. Notice what it feels like to do this nice easy movement of standing and sitting down. That's right. Just a nice, relaxed, comfortable, easy flowing movement as you lean forward. You feel that sense of balance throughout the whole of the movement. Notice how your weight is going down through your legs. And notice as you sit down how everything is nice and soft. And when you come to land on the chair, notice if you're landing with a bit of a boomf, or if actually you're touching down nice and gently. And then relax, sit in the chair, sit back, allow your arms to relax. That's right. Allow your shoulders to relax. And just bring your whole self into being aware of your body and your breathing, the out breath especially. As you just breathe out, that's right, right out, 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 out. Relaxing. allowing the in-breath to come in whenever it wants to, allowing your shoulders to relax, thinking of the muscles and being aware of what's going on. And you can use this process whenever you want to, just to bring yourself into your body. For some people, it might be that the hustle and bustle of the day is quite busy. It might be that if you've got some aches and pains, irritable bowel, or some other aches and pains going on, or some ill health problems, it might be you've got some rather what I call lumpy, bumpy life events going on, which causes you to respond and react. Not every time everything is smooth. And just taking a few minutes for yourself like this in the day, just to actually be mindful and aware and think about how you're using your body and just taking things a little bit more slowly than you would normally do. And just noticing the way you'd normally do things, slowing down a little bit, just doing something simple like sitting down and standing up. Just noticing how you do it, and then bringing your attention to your breathing and your relaxing, and noticing how you can let all of the tensioning go. So you can just finish off after I finish now. You can just finish off sitting relaxing in the chair. Maybe you can just leave yourself sitting here relaxing, focusing on the out breath. As long as you want to, you can sit maybe for 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. Something simple like this, which has taken a few moments, is something that you can do maybe when you're on your way home. You come to sit down in the underground or the bus, sit down, and you can just be mindfully thinking about your body and yourself and relaxing and leaving some of the day behind. So I hope this has been helpful. I look forward to bringing you a few more bits and pieces again in the future. I've got a new website now, which is called artofhumanbeing.uk. And if you're not already signed up on my Feldenkrais download page, you're very welcome to come along. I mainly do audio recordings. I don't do very much on YouTube. And again, that's much in connection with the Feldenkrais principles that I like to use. So I look forward to meeting up with you sometime. I'll put this up on my website. If you want to leave a comment, I'd be delighted to hear from you. And if you'd like to just sit there relaxing, I'll drop my voice down so you can just relax. That's right. Just really relax.